Hello everyone, it's Major Park. Thank you guys for coming back to my video. I know it has been a while. Today is going to be a kind of special session. Another podcast with the interview with the Navy officer. So Ensign Park, we're going to start interview with you, and then can you tell me about yourself?
Hi everyone, I'm Ensign Park. I've been in the Navy about 7 years. I was on a ship for 4 years and been in and out of the Navy for another 2 years, and now I'm back in active duty as we call the Civil Engineer Corps officers. Thanks for having me, Major Park.
Oh, thank you. No, thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. Why did you choose Navy?
To be honest, I still have no idea why I chose Navy. Honestly, I really don't. It's actually one of the things I always wonder why I picked the Navy. I think the Navy recruiting office was a lot closer than other branches.
Oh, that's fine. Yo, thank you. Thanks for your answer. I appreciate it. Do you have to know how to swim? Is that a requirement?
Absolutely, you need to know how to swim. Even if you don't, Navy will teach you how to swim. When you get into either boot camp or OCS, we call Officer Candidate School. It's like a boot camp version for officers. Either way, you have to know how to swim. You will take a swim test, and if you don't know and you fail the test, then they'll put you in a separate swim lesson. I actually fell in that category. They actually taught me very well, and now I can swim like seal.
Yeah, that's good that the Navy teach you how to swim. That's a good thing because I think one of the viewers asked me, "Do I know how to swim to join the Navy?" So that's a good thing that they should train you how to swim once you join. But next question I have is, let's say if you go out deployment on the ship, or you're in the aircraft carrier or destroyers, whatever, any type of ship. If you have some like seasick or any momentum, can you like handle that, or is that people who's really sensitive with that? The symptoms, is it possible to control that, or it is not even, you don't have to worry about that at all?
A lot of jobs in the Navy actually require a certain amount of time on a ship.
Okay.
Obviously, when you get to the ship,
Mm-hmm.
you gotta find out to deal with the seasick. Luckily, I never had a seasick. I guess just naturally my body's not my body is capable of handling seasick, but I've seen a lot of people having seasick and they were suffering. Eventually, they need to figure out somehow to cope with seasick, either take medication or putting pad behind their ears. But it's really not a major deal, but it is something that you can definitely overcome. We're not just going out to sea for just 1 day or 2 days. When we go out to sea, a lot of times we are out at sea for months, and in that case, your bodies naturally get used to the environment. Your body is designed to naturally coping with the challenges that you have there in that environment. So it's somehow I've seen a lot of people are capable of handling seasick. Bottom line is the Navy will never excuse people for seasick.
Yeah.
It's on them to overcome seasick somehow, and people eventually.
Okay, got it. Some of the jobs, that doesn't mean just because you're Navy, right? You could also just be on offshore, just on post, on base, whole time, right? Some people never even be on the ship at all, right?
Yep.
Okay. You were also lateral transfer to government employee jobs before. Did you apply for government, like a DoD, general schedule jobs after you get out of service for a little bit?
Yes. I joined the Navy 2013, and I was assigned to a ship we call destroyer. I was on that ship for 4 years, and I decided to get out of Navy in 2017, but I didn't fully get out of Navy. I chose to stay in reserve. When I was in reserve, my civilian job was mechanical engineer in Army Corps Engineers. So I kind of work. I know it's your side of it a little bit because I was in Army.
Nice. Yeah.
But after that, I was there for about a year, and then I was selected for a civil engineer corps officer in the Navy. So I'm now back in active duty as a civil engineer corps officer.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. When you apply for government civilian job because you're Navy, or was it more advantage, or how was the process? It was pretty simple.
Yes, if you were prior military, you definitely get a few points. I think it was 5 points or something. I don't know how points work,
Mhm.
but you definitely get extra points to apply for federal jobs. Luckily, my boss, and when I was in the Army Corps, he was a prior Navy. He was a submarine guy, and he looked at my resume. And he was like, "Oh, Navy guy." So, I mean, I'm not saying that was a big turning point. As I had an interview with him, we talk a lot about interview questions as well as the Navy stuff and recruiter's point of view. When you do interview like that, they really look for like a person itself. I think I got a lot of points from that my old boss, so that's how I got that job. But
Mm.
yes, definitely. Just to answer your question, yes, you do get extra points if you're
Okay.
a prior military.
Okay. Well, that's good information. Good to know. For being a DoD civilian employee, right, as a general schedule, from that you went back to active Navy. Is it possible to just apply back to military service? Was it easy to transfer back to Navy?
It wasn't easy. There were a lot of issues regarding paperwork, mainly because I was a reservist. Reserve and active are very different.
Right.
In reserve is very slow pace, and I got selected for a civil engineer corps officer, but I notified my chain of command. I wasn't able to get much response, so which took a lot of time. I was in New York City,
Yeah.
Army Corps in New York City. So basically, I was able to go to OCS, Officer Candidate School, which is in Newport, Rhode Island. So New York to Rhode Island was like about 3 hours long. So physically, it didn't take me long, but paperwork wise, yes, it did take a long time. 5 or 6 months to process all the paperwork. And even when I got to OCS, I had to do some paperwork after. It took me a while, but you can still do it.
It's doable, but then kind of difficult process.
As long as you have drive and you spend time and effort for it,
Yeah.
you can always do it.
Got it. Okay. One is that you had to transfer from reserve, Navy reserve to active. That's
Yes.
that's one hurdle. And then the other one was you're also a civilian employee. So that from government employee, also join an active duty service. That's also another process they have to transfer, right? So those are two, I guess, two different process.
Technically, I had two jobs.
Mm.
One was Navy Reserve. The other one was Army Corps. But if I'm going back to active duty, that means I have to merge these two. I actually had to deal with my chain of command and Army Corps side and Navy Reserve side. Navy Reserve side took a long time. Army Corps side it took
Okay.
me about a month or two to process the whole thing. Navy, Army, Marine Corps, whatever, wherever branch you go, there are always good people out there trying to help you out. Again, if you have a drive to uh, achieve your goal, willingly help you.
Okay. Okay, that's good. That's good. When you're in full-time civilian employee, that time of service as a civilian employee, does that also count towards your federal service as well as a Navy for your Navy time of service?
Now, they don't count towards your retirement or anything. When I got the job offer from Army Corps, they actually accepted my military service time, so I got little benefit from it, such as leave hours. If you have less than 3 years of federal service, you get 4 hours of leave time per month. But if you have more than 3 years of federal service, you get 6 hours of leave every month. I got the military benefit, and I applied that to the leave hour. Even if I was a new employee, I was able to get 6 hours per month. In contrast, when you go to a military from federal service, I don't think I had any benefits.
Okay, that's good. How does your daily routine looks like?
Usually, I start going to work at 08 in the military time, but 8 o'clock. I get off around 5 o'clock.
Okay.
Then right after that, I go to work out. I go to gym. Then I just cook my dinner, train myself. or spend time for entertainment or talk to my family. One thing that Navy really cares about is there's a badge that I have here, but whatever command you go, there is a requirement for we call warfare pin. You have to study and you have to take a bunch of boards and with a senior member, and you have to pass the board and you earn this pin. If you're enlisted, you have a 36 months to earn this pin. If you're an officer, usually it's 18 months to earn this pin. This is the pin that I got from when I was on a ship, but now I'm in a new command. They have a different pin and I have to earn it. When I get off work, I spend my time to study my job and trying to get this warfare pin.
Even I wasn't aware of that. Wow, that's really good to know. And so every command you go, you have to earn that badge by.
Typically, you get 2 or 3 books assigned, get some training from someone that are qualified. You will see it right away. If you see that chest, if you see the pen, then that means they're qualified. They're able to sign your book. You get some sort of signatures and get some training. And once you finish the book, which means you get all the signatures on the book, that means you now study for your pen. It's a lot. It takes a long time. Pretty much about everything about your commands and what they do, capabilities. It goes on to all the details, like what's the 4 universal weapon safety rules, stuff like that, justifications, and, it goes down to that details. Once you finish studying, then you take the exam. Once you pass the exam, then now you're actually taking a board. You'll be asked a lot of questions by senior members, E7 or above, who are qualified. That will test your knowledge. And once you pass all that, that's when you earn this pin. You don't have a pin, they're not dedicated, but they are at least a little more than average.
That's a long journey. It's not just like you said, one day. It's gonna happen a couple
Oh,
days.
it takes at least 4 months. Some people don't take it seriously. So they drag all the way until like 36 months and they get it. But a lot of cases, people earn this pin.
You earned it, so hey, very proud of you. And so, I mean,
Thank you. When you go to the next command, you don't have to study all that. You still need to study. I've seen the people with 4 pins, but you can only wear 2 pins at a time. It's a requirement.
Gotcha. Got it. Every time I see Navy officer or Navy, I'm gonna look at the badge. Even the enlisted side, they're starting from E1, E2, E3, or the pay grade. Do they still get like evaluation report? Obviously, like in the Army, unless you're E4 promotable or maybe around E5 rank, that's when you can start evaluation report.
Yes. So the way it works is the E1 to E3 is just automatic. 9 months between E1 to E2 and 9 months between E2 and E3. And E3 to E4, that's when you have to take advancement exam. Advanced exam is 80 points total. 60% of that 80 points, it's made up with your, we call evaluation. Actually, I'm not sure if it's 60%, but you can definitely Google that in the Navy website. Usually you get a evaluation from your chain of command. Once you get that eval, now you take the exam. The Navy will calculate based on your evaluation points and your exam points. We call quota. Certain percentage of people within that the ranking group will be promoted. So, for example, if I'm E3 and I took my job exam, but there are like 300 other E3 took that exam, and the Navy decided, we'll only promote 20% of people. Then I can't do math right now, but 20% of that 300 people will be promoted. It is very important that you do your job very well throughout the day and you get good evals from your chain of command. And also you need to do well on your exam to promote. That only applies to E4 to E6. Once you get to E6, you still have to take the exam to be E7. You still have to go through what we call selection board. E6 to E7 is a very big deal. E7 or above, we call khaki. So being khaki is a very special. You're actually in charge of the division. And division is another word, platoon in Army term. Now consider a senior enlisted leader. Your selection board they will look at everything on you, and they will determine who's going to make E7. Once you make E7, it's about a month long. Chief, the chief selectees, we call chief selectees. These people will kind of like go through a mini boot camp. They will start running around the whole base, and like early in the morning, they will do the little like physical challenges. They do fundraise. Pretty much, they groom them as a brand new senior enlisted leader, and Navy wants to remind them like what it means to them.
Wow, that's good. I like that culture and also the way the system works. That's great. That's awesome. What are the difference between the Navy and Marines and even Coast Guard, those branches?
A lot of jobs in the Navy are very technical.
Mm.
We utilize our technical skills to support Marine Corps. We have amphibious ships to transport Marines. We have missiles and weapon systems to support to support when Marines are on the ground. They're more combat related. They're very specialized with infantry weapons like cruiser weapons, rifles. Many Marines are a lot more physically fit. PT standard is a lot higher than the Navy. The biggest difference between the Navy and the Coast Guard, they're very similar. The Navy is for offense and dealing with a lot of international stuff, and Coast Guard for defense and the domestic stuff. When we deal with other nations, obviously Navy gets involved, but when we deal within the country, the Coast Guard gets involved. I'm not saying this fits every situation, but that's usually what it looks like. Coast Guard is also not part of Department of Defense. They're part of Department of Homeland Security. So we're similar, but we're somewhat different. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, that's good. When it comes to physical test, you guys have like an alternate event you can choose. Like for example, instead of run event, maybe you can do swimming.
Yes. Navy actually just changed the PT test. We used to have a 1.5 run. You can also do cycling. You can do swim for a cardio portion. And then the strength portion, you do push-ups for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
You do sit-ups for 2 minutes. That's what the old PT standard. Push-up section still remain. They still same as cardio, but also added rowing machine for cardio section. I'm not sure exactly how the standard works, but I know they just added that in the cardio portion. And now instead of doing a sit-up, Navy decided to do plank. There's no time limit. As long as you do plank for a certain amount of time, they will convert that to sit-ups. I'm not sure how it works, but there is a chart that, let's say you do 2 minutes of plank. The longer that you do plank, you get better scores. So
okay,
that's the new PT standard now.
Plank is hard. I mean, I don't think I could do more than 1 minute, but yeah, that's good. Thank you for the information. What's very unique about Navy compared to other branches?
Navy is very technical. We have ships to maintain, shore facilities that can support those ships. We have also something called CB, which is where I'm at right now. Navy can be split in 3 different categories. We call blue side of Navy, which is where ships and a lot of ship-related jobs are involved. We have a green side of Navy, which is where I'm at, where CVs get involved. But basically, CVs are construction engineers that are deployed to many areas. We support Marines for base projects, and we also support State Department. The last part of the Navy is just maintaining shore facilities. Obviously, when ships go to underway, they require a lot of manpower. I'm talking about like crane, like giant crane, to where you can lift a bunch of heavy stuff. And we need the people for those. And usually those people stay in harbor and they support all the stuff they need for these naval ships do their operations.
That's good. I think I like how you break it down like that. The Navy SEAL and UDT, a lot of them saw in the movie or in the media channel, right? Who are they and what do they do? What are the requirements? Become a Navy SEAL member.